For the voters of East Baton Rouge Parish on November 14th. Since it is customary to, rather than flip a coin, we're going to start with the proponents. We will go in the order in which they are seated. We will start with the proponents and then an answer from the opponents. And it will go back and forth between, and they're not supposed to be debating each other. They are here to present information to you. Questions from the audience will be taken at 12:30, and as I said earlier, there will be a standing mic set up. And if you have a question, you may go to the mic. Please do not stand in front of the table. Kind of circle around behind the table so that you don't cut off anybody's ability to see. And if you don't want to go to the mic but still have a question, you may write it out and give it to the gentleman in yellow, John Armstrong. Okay? I do want to emphasize that the pursuit of this was voted on by the entire board of the Baton Rouge League of Women Voters, and it was supported through the annual membership meeting. This is not the interest of a single person. We're here to serve our community, to provide educational opportunities on issues of great interest. So without further ado, we will introduce who everybody knows, everybody at this table practically. We will start with the Chief Administrative Officer of the East Baton Rouge Parish, Mr. Mike Futrell. Mike, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here. Mayor Holden had a lunchtime speech followed by, right now he should be meeting with the Baton Rouge Area Legislative Delegation. 2 meetings which were set up long in advance, but I'm happy to be here to represent him and also to speak, frankly, on behalf of myself and explain how can I, as still a conservative Republican, actually support a tax package. Baton Rouge is frankly doing great. We have 3 movies being produced right now. One is a $100 million blockbuster. We had a Chinese company in town last week to announce they will build a manufacturing plant in Baton Rouge, 300 new jobs, salary up to $75,000 each. Prior to that, U.S. agencies announced that it would relocate its corporate headquarters from Chicago to Baton Rouge. In those efforts, we beat out San Francisco, Houston, Chicago. Baton Rouge, we have things going on. Shaw Industries is expanding here. EA Sports, a $4 billion French company, has canceled all of its plans for expansion around the world except Baton Rouge. And they were in town this week. They're helping LSU start a new digital media curriculum. They will build a facility on the campus, hire students, train in a high technology environment, and new industry for Baton Rouge. None of that happened by mistake. None of that happened by happenstance, by dumb luck, and somebody mailing us a check or just dropping it on our doorstep. It took years of work. It took travel around the globe. And it's paying off because Baton Rouge right now is competing against every other city in the country and the world, and we are winning. Baton Rouge is on the move. Part of that is you have to have great infrastructure. Business cannot succeed without great infrastructure. And we have done a lot in the Holden administration in the last 4 years, and you know it. First thing he did was cancel that sewer plan that was on tap and saved $300 million by doing it. Now we have a robust sewer program going forward. It is under budget, it is on time, and we will have, frankly, the best sewer system in the country. When you think about infrastructure and building, you actually have, that's kind of your bedrock. You have a pipe that's this big. How many businesses can you build and tap into that pipe until there's just no more room? So you start with the basics. That infrastructure, that's happening right now, and it's not in the bond proposal. Streets, we went with the Green Light program. Said we have got to do something about traffic here, that traffic infrastructure. A certain set of roads, you trust us, we will build those roads, and we're doing it. This year we're breaking ground on a new road, 1 road a month. That's amazing. And we are under budget, we are ahead of schedule on the Green Light program. The loop around Baton Rouge, we're still pushing that forward. It's alive and well. We will have public hearings after the beginning of the year to finally select the route and then move forward into the design phase. It will be a toll road, a public-private partnership. We could break ground on the first part of the loop within the next 4 to 5 years. That's moving forward. That's your infrastructure that we need. This bond proposal is part of that overall strategy to attract business here, to build jobs, to build a foundation for our community upon which we can move into the future. How many years have we complained about politicians who have vision like this? They can't see beyond their own re-election. We need vision out here. We need vision looking ahead. What do we need as a community to succeed? What are the next jobs coming up? What's the next great thing? Where must we be? Petrochemical is great. My dad worked there all his life in the plants. But we all know we have got to diversify our economy, we've got to build out our infrastructure, and we have got to compete as a city. Now, people ask about the bond election. They ask basically 4 questions. Why are you doing, 3, we'll combine the first 2. Why are you doing this and why are you doing it now? We could wait. We absolutely could. We could cancel it and just wait for the national recession to recover, for Washington to send us a check, for Detroit to start making cars. We could wait. And a couple of years from now, we'll pick up whatever crumbs are left on the table and what might come our way. Or we can take charge of our destiny. We can lead and proactively put forward a plan to build out our infrastructure. The second question I get, and I've combined the 2 as well in the interest of time, 60 seconds. Why are we doing it live, and why is it all in one vote? It's all about the business case. It's all about the numbers. It's the only thing in there that creates permanent jobs, and it's the only thing that will bring in a large number of people from outside to Baton Rouge. They will spend their money. When they spend their money, they will pay our local taxes. Some of those local taxes are dedicated to paying off this bond proposal. We could get rid of a lot. We could. Then there'd be no permanent jobs, and we would have to pay the full freight of those taxes. We looked at it, we said, should we divide it? Should we get rid of the live? The business case for it is just too strong. It makes sense to create something where others will come into our community, spend their money, they will pay the taxes, we use those taxes to pay off the drainage and the prison and everything else that's in the bond proposal. That's a much, much more progressive and inventive and visionary way of financing this whole package. Getting the stop sign, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time otherwise, but this is part of the larger vision for Baton Rouge as we're growing forward, not just a single proposal. But big picture, we need this.